So 2-3 years ago, we started the Downtown Theatre Project, 2018, I think it was. It seems like we've been doing it forever, but...
we were talking about it for a long time.
Yeah, and it came about because we're friends with some of the people involved in the Making Box improv group downtown. And when they got a space, they were talking about filling some of their hours, and we talked about maybe doing some small productions in there, theater productions, and it just worked out well that they had some space a few times a year, and we could only really manage doing a few shows a year. So that was a partnership that turned out great for us.
But I would say, part of the impetus was there's a decent amount of theater in Guelph. So there's a musical theater group, there's Guelph Little Theater, there's lots of opportunity, but there was sort of we thought we could add to it. We thought that there was an opportunity to do small scale, sort of intimate theater with the kind of subject matter that other places don't want to really touch, or maybe it's a cast of 1 or 2, so the larger groups aren't going to do that sort of stuff. Okay, so my favorite was when we did the goat. And not because, is there a goat in it or not? I don't know if you saw it. It's because we had breakables, which cost most of our budget. But it's what they use in movies and in theater, where it looks like real glass or real plates, but you smash it and the pieces don't fly anywhere and they're never sharp. And so we were so excited to use this amazing prop. And I got to smash like this massive face, in anger, and it was thrilling. It was absolutely thrilling.
But I recall on the dress rehearsal, because we could only afford enough for every show and then a set for the dress rehearsal. And so this was Jen's first time smashing them at the dress rehearsal.
That's right.
And so you smashed it on top of the table instead of on the floor, and it just like splintered out into the audience. And there was only like 5 or 6 of us in the audience at the time, so it didn't matter, but it just came like flying at our faces.
Needless to say, I got a note. Jen, don't do that. I'm like, only on the floor.
Well, the Fringe Festival's great launch was thwarted this year, unfortunately. We got in contact with the person who was involved in the Fringe Festival 5 years ago or whatever it was now. And so we knew it was happening, and it ran for 3 years, and we weren't at a place at the time to be involved in it, but
offered our support.
Yeah, offered our support. And then a couple years ago, he had to let it go. And so we saw that it was sitting there and nobody was running it. And we have a bit of experience producing shows in town. And so we thought, let's kick it back into gear. We know a ton of people who would be interested in A, going to see these shows, and B, possibly putting on shows themselves.
So although it didn't happen last weekend, I think it was supposed to, it's just delayed. So everyone who got in, which is done by lottery, everyone who got in still holds their place, and then at the beginning of next year can let us know if they want to continue to, and we're hopeful that by next August we can run it. So it's something that is still on our radar. We still want to do. We still think Guelph is interested in having a Fringe Festival. So
the one thing I would say about Guelph and the theater community is that we could use a whole lot more diversity. Yeah. And that's something that the Downtown Theatre Project is going to commit to going forward. So all the diverse voices out there, we want to hear your stories, and we want to, give you a space to put them on stage. So
absolutely, I think we really want to communicate when we say we want more diverse voices. That means we want them on stage. We want your stories. We want your input. All of it. Access to those plays that are diverse, and the people performing. So we're looking for it all around.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories to be told out there, and you can look at the typical community theater in Southern Ontario, and every 15 years you start recycling the same plays over and over and over again, right? And it's because we're just telling the same stories over and over and over again, and so it's time to hear some different stories. We're all big kids.
We're looking for them.
So